this is Rena with Lilo Crafts coming on today to share 30 different ideas on how you can make pockets and tucks and tags for your journal. I'll be using some very cheap or inexpensive items from Temu. I wanted to show you how you can actually use these as pockets and tags. And tuck spots. So here is your paper, your page of your journal, and you can glue down two sides and make this a tuck like this. You can glue down the top and the bottom and make it a pocket like this. You could glue the sides down and then put something thin inside the pocket like this, or you could glue it on this side of the page and tuck things in this way by gluing the three sides down. So there's tons of ways. And then on these thin ones that I did, I made them so something can go in the middle of them, or you can seal up one side and your item can stick just like that. So different ways that you can use these skinny strips as well. Okay, let's take a closer look at them. Do the first technique. So the first one is let the paper do the work for you. So I will show you all the papers and all the items I used at the end and place the links to those items from Temu in the description below. But look at this gorgeous peony and hydrangea combined. Oh, I just love that. And I just put it on top of another piece of paper there. On this one, all I did was ink around the edges, and I just cut it out with a die cut, and I'm just allowing that gorgeous paper to do the work. Then I've got this beautiful heart shape, and this again is featuring the paper. I used the scraps from the paper, and these are 3 different ones that I've got in here. I just layered them up, and then I inked around the edges, and I drew in the dots for stitching with a Sharpie. The second technique is all about fussy cutting. And so these are images that I fussy cut from the beautiful Temu paper. Oh my gosh, aren't those gorgeous? And then I just used coffee dyed paper as the background for that. This one is 100% the Temu paper, and again, inked around the edges, and used the Sharpie to go ahead and put the stitching in. And this one right here, I don't know if you can tell, but I fussy cut out one of these hibiscus from the scrap of the paper, and then I just popped it up on foam. I put a little bit of stickles on here for a little sparkle and shine, but I think that looks so beautiful. This is 100% the paper. This, I fussy cut this image out of the paper, and this is another paper from Temu, and it's all music paper, and then I've just staggered that on top of that. Here is another image. This is a contrasting paper on top of the Temu paper. Again, all with Temu. Now this one right here is it has fussy cut images, but then I also decided to make like a cluster and a focal point in the middle. So technique number 3 is going ahead and making a focal point. So you can see I've got this beautiful image right here as the focal point. For this one, I've got different scraps of paper all layered up, but you can see that I've used this image as the focal point. And here I've just got the whole piece, and I'll show you. I am in love with this little booklet from Temu. And here's yet another one. And another one. Look at those beautiful strawberries. Now this one is the Temu paper that I cut out, and then I decided to just take my embroidery floss and to wrap it around, and then just glue it down in the back. And then this way I'm drawing attention to the focal point, which is in the middle right here. Here is another one. Sometimes if you make the brightest image the focal point, that helps it stand out as well. And then this one, I've got 2. I've got strawberries, but I've got them both going in different directions. Oh, I'm in love with that. Okay, let's go on to technique number 4, which is stamp. You can do a full-on collage on your paper with your papers, and then you can stamp an image to make a focal point. And that's what I did with these, and then I went around them with a little bit of markers. And this is just using the paper, not making a focal point, but just kind of helping the papers all blend into each other with similar colors of that. And then you can add a focal point letter. You can put like a big word over here, like dream or inspire or create or whatever you would like to add to your journal. The next technique is making a cluster, and you can see here that I've staggered several different kinds of ripped and torn papers, and then I put this beautiful sticker on here as the center, so that is the cluster. Over here you can see I'm drawing all the attention with the items going this way to the center right here, and here's another cluster, but just a simple cluster. It's just got two pieces layered on top for that cluster. For this last technique, you can see that I've used glitter and a little sparkle and shine. So on this gold paper from Michaels, what I did was I went ahead and inked it all up with Vintage Photo to make it not quite so bright and shiny. And then I just added a little bit of stickles to that rose and to the tying in to the rose down here. See if you can see that, just a little bit on the white to tie that together. And then I've got this sweetheart right here. Oh, look at that. And I've layered it with a smaller heart on the inside. Again, I did use Vintage Photo. That down a bit. I've got Vintage Photo on these tickets, and I've got this sweet teacup that I cut out, and I added the stickles to the light part of that to create that. Oh, love that. Now this is just a plain piece of the paper, and I use the scraps. You can see here's that flower right there, and this is the part that was left over from that sheet of paper. So I just fussy cut that out. I added just a bit of stickles to add just a little bit of sparkle and shine to that. So I love the way that turned out. Here is another heart image, and again, really showcasing this Temu paper, and this is also Temu paper, and I've gone ahead and added a little bit of stickles to those beautiful orchids. And then this one right here, I think these are pansies. Again, I let this be, this is the paper do the work, and I just added this one right over here, popped up on foam, and I added a little bit of stickles just to the centers of these pansies. I think that turned out so sweet. Okay, so let's take a look at the items that I got from Temu that I used in these projects. So the first are these 30 pieces of vintage music paper. This is only $1.99, and it comes wrapped with this beautiful jute twine, and they're all different. They give you several different versions. And then this has been like the joy. These are all my focal points that I used. Most of them contain this. These are 100 pieces of dessert, tea, fruits, recipes. This is $2.48. So I want to show you, it's like the size of my pointer finger, just so you know the size, but let me do like a quick flip through here. So you can see all these beautiful things. Oh, love, L-O-V-E, love. Okay, then I use this, a ton of this. This is 100 sheets of vintage floral paper for $7.48. And this is what reminds me of like vintage wallpaper. I am in love with this. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. Offer free shipping, and all the links will be in the description below, along with my code to get 50% off your first purchase if you go ahead and use that. This is 100 pages for $3.38. I used a ton of this, and I cannot believe how much I have left over. So this is such a nice size. So love this as well. I use these stickers. These are vintage plants and flower stickers. There's 50 pieces in here for $1.78. I used these. These are Old World, they're called. There were 30 pieces. These were sold out, but I'll check and see if they're back in stock. And if they are, I'll put that link down there for you. And I used these 40 pieces of these flower stickers. I used a couple of these this time, and this is $1.98 for this. And you can see the way that you can use your scraps or use your stash, use your scrapbook paper. There are just tons and tons of ideas here and ways that you can use them. So thank you for spending time with me today. Don't forget to go out and check out Temu. And if you're new, use my code for the 50% off. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.